Good afternoon, Alan. Thanks for getting involved in Business Owner Spotlight this week. Go ahead, introduce yourself and tell us all about what you do.
My name is Baird. I'm a partner in Sensei, Sensei Learning and Performance, to give it its full title. We're a communications consultancy going since 2006. Our job then, we described it as wanting to help businesses communicate better in person and paper and online. So it was quite broad. But over the years, we've kind of made it more specific, and we would call ourselves now content developers, looking to work with large international corporations, really, for copywriting and technical writing purposes.
And so you guys, you've been in business for a while, and you've found your niche then. You've actually niched it down and dismissed maybe some customers or potential clients that you're not going to be able to help, and they're not going to be as good for your business. Is that right?
Absolutely. We've actually done more than that. We've kind of shifted sideways. At the start, we were involved in quite a broad range of business services, mostly around training, because Dawn and I are both from a training background. Dawn in business and me in academia. And then we focused on kind of things including business writing, but lots of other kind of business soft and hard skills as well. But as time went on, we did less and less of that and more of the writing, exclusive kind of content development side of things, because it allowed us to work basically with an international audience. Training is very much kind of limited to being their person. I know that you can do it kind of online, one-to-one, but traditionally, businesses are quite conservative and they like training to be one person in front of a group.
Yes.
And that's kind of quite limiting. But the way we work now, we can work with anybody, anywhere, anytime, and absolutely are thriving because of that.
Fantastic. And so that sort of having the courage to really carve out your niche and commit to it then is allowing you to thrive.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's a kind of rookie mistake that a lot of businesses make at the start. They want to be all things to all people. They think that if they can cast out their net as widely as possible, then that'll bring in the biggest haul of clients. But that's not the case. One of the things that I've learned over the years is to be as specific as possible. To think of yourself as almost a sniper. There are specific, very specific groups and even specific companies that you want to go for, and then there are specific ways to lure them in and to build up that relationship, especially through LinkedIn and Twitter, and getting conversations going with them. At the start, again, another rookie mistake I thought I made was just thinking that putting your website up there and going to lots of networking meetings and throwing around those business cards like confetti would get you exactly who you want. But that's not the case at all. You have to think very, very specific. You have to build up that persona and know exactly who it is you want to go after. So
more sniper, less machine gun, and don't show the business cards around.
Exactly. Exactly right.
Makes sense. And so what about you guys? And who would be your ideal customer? Like, if somebody was watching this, who would you most like to hear this?
Well, I did say international tech companies, but I think again, I would shift in what I would say to those who have a very clear brief. That is so key for our business and perhaps for business in general. It sounds great if you speak to a potential client and they say, yeah, we're not too sure. You're the expert. You come in, we can improvise, we can talk about it. And that sounds great until you do your first batch of work and they say, no, that's not what we want. And you just realize you've wasted everybody's time. So one of the things we look for now is somebody who knows exactly what they want. And if they don't know, then we have a conversation with them. And after that conversation, if it's still not clear, if we can't get it pinned down, we say to them, look, thanks for talking to us, but we really think you'd be best served by looking at somebody else to help you, because it's not for us. It turns into a red flag,
And just for my that's interesting. You know, you have to have red flags with your clients as well. But just from my understanding, so if you're talking to a tech company who want to better communicate with their audience, and that's what you help with, is that right?
Yes.
In terms of like putting the language into more layman's terms, or how do you actually?
Yeah, I mean, when people ask me what I do, one of the ways I explain it is it's almost like the role of a translator. We're trying to take their very technical, detailed, specific, high-level language and put it to their customers in a way that's not just comprehensible but persuasive. You know, so we'll you know, that could be in the form of case studies or use cases or white papers or technical blogs or comparison articles. There's loads of ways to do that. But you know, we have to think about SEO, and we have to think about persuasion, and you know, whether it's understandable, whether it's pitched at the right level, lots of things. And these people, our clients, might be very, very intelligent, and they are when it comes to developing their own software. But communicating that is a whole other you know, field of skills, and that's where we come in to help.
Fantastic. And so we've struck on, which it sounds like you learned reasonably early on, finding your niche, and also just, you know, being sniper and only working with the clients that are going to serve your business best. What other big sort of mind shifts have you had since you've been in business?
So many mistakes, Scott, from my thinking anyway, because you know, it's an interesting question whether entrepreneurs are born or made. And for me, it's definitely not born. I had to learn a lot of things the hard way. Another mistake I think we made was we had clients who were like single big blocks, like one really big client at a time, and we focused on nobody but them for a certain period of months, and that absorbed all our time and effort. And whenever they were finished, we were like, oh dear, what do we do now? Then we were panicking looking for somebody else, and then we had another big block, another great client. So I think what we do now, instead of just having that one big block, we have several clients going on for longer relationships and longer periods. So that we're not just reliant on one big beautiful client all the time. We've got multiple clients that we're working at simultaneously, and not just for particular projects, but we're trying to work with them and establish a longer term relationship.
Yeah, so it makes your business much more robust, doesn't it? You know,
very much so, more resilient.
And then you're much more. I suppose it probably helps with if you've got that relationship, it probably helps with the quality of the product then as well. If you're a bit more integrated into the company,
it helps with the quality of the product because it increases our understanding of it. Because some of these products, especially in the tech industry, are incredibly complex and multifaceted and constantly growing, and you can't really get a proper grasp of them, you know, within even a couple of months, you know. But if we have longer relationships with them, we are constantly learning as they are developing new aspects to it, so they can really trust us to understand at a deep and technical level what they're actually about and what they're trying to say. So it makes it easier for both of us.
Yeah, it's a win for both then. And you said that, you know, lots of mistakes you've had to learn the hard way. What sort of things have you learned about yourself?
Well, I suppose in life in general, I make the mistake of thinking that people have gifts for things. So somebody is just born with a gift for business, or a gift for communication, or a gift for understanding, developing software even. And that's a totally unhelpful way to think about things. Lots of things is just hard work and skill building and planning, putting dates in calendars and deadlines and just putting in the work. And, you know, all those kind of specific business tasks are skills that are very learnable, and sometimes you need to take your head out of the book and just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, just take the action.
I mean, one of my favorite quotes, it's kind of a general purpose quote, but it's by Hannibal, who was a great general who fought against the Romans, and he said, I'll either find a way or make one. So in other words, you mightn't be able to initially find exactly what your niche is or what you're supposed to do or who your perfect client is, but there's things you can do to make that happen. You know, you need to be very, very proactive in business, a lot more than I anticipated. I think, like I said, I just thought you would throw up a website, throw out some cards, and hey presto, your business would build itself. You know, you cannot be reactive. You cannot wait for them to come. You must go on the offensive all the time, every single day, and get it done. Be proactive.
No, I think that's a brilliant piece of advice. And just on terms of, we talked a little bit about it before the interview. We talked a little bit about how the world has changed, and even doing things on Zoom. So how's your business fitted into that? Has it been a positive for you guys, or is it has it made things more difficult?
It's made things a lot easier. Thankfully, we had done this before COVID came along, so we were prepared for it. But our shift from a training emphasis to content development emphasis fits right in with kind of Zoom business culture, if you want to call it that, because it means we can speak to what we do have clients internationally now. It's interesting if you were to kind of map out our clients through the course of our business from 2006. Initially, it was with a lot of people in Ireland, Northern Ireland, then Ireland, then England, and then Europe, and we're kind of getting wider and wider each block of years. And Zoom has really helped us to do that, and online, building up relationships and all the rest of it, communicating with clients, getting your face and your name out there. Zoom has been spectacularly helpful for that, so I'm very grateful for it.
But more interestingly to me, even the fact you'd already done it, but it seems like all the way through your business career, you've been happy to pivot and change and not just rest on your laurels.
Absolutely, yeah. You can't do that. There's a fallacy that's out there that's, well, you might disagree with this, Scott, but you can tell me what you think, but build it and they will come. So in other words, you are what you are, and if they don't like it, they don't like it, but you just have to be true to yourself. No, you're there to serve them.
Sure.
Yeah, you're there to provide things that they need, not just things that make you feel good or that you think you're really good at. So as the market changes rapidly, you have to change as well. In fact, not only do you have to change, you have to try and preempt that change, so then you can be prepared for it, and not just be a follower but a leader.
Yeah, so you're having to just have that awareness of what the market wants all the time.
Exactly.
Yeah. So you said the business is thriving. So what does the future look like for you guys over the next few years?
What I would like is, Dawn and I are, I think, good writers in lots of different ways. We're content developers. We write lots of blogs and things for people, but I would love to see us maybe writing our own content and our own ebooks on business and things like that. Because we've experienced so much, and we've talked about things so much ourselves and gone through so much. I would love it if we could even write a book together or that kind of thing, and not just be kind of serving clients and customers, as great as that is, but also kind of putting some of our own ideas out there now that we've got a bit of experience behind us. Showing a bit of business leadership and just seeing where that takes us.
Sounds like a really cool project. Just to finish up then, if you could go back and have a chat to yourself when you were 18, what's the one piece of advice you would give 18-year-old Al? It's a tough one.
Yeah, it's a tough one. Because whenever I was 18, I had no thought of business whatsoever. I kind of went, whenever I wasn't very good at school. I managed to scrape into university and then found out that I loved it, and I loved adult learning and education, and that's what took me into training. So I've come a long kind of torturous route into this. what would I say? That's a really difficult one. I think I would say that there are people out there who want to help you. Don't think you have to do it all yourself.
Yeah.
Don't think you have to do all the figuring out yourself. There are mentors out there. There are people who are experienced in this. Go and speak to them. Find out what the world is really like, not just what you think it should be like or ought to be like, but find out what it's really like, and use their knowledge and their goodwill to lead you in the right, to at least help you be led in the right direction.
Brilliant. So yeah, so another brilliant piece of advice: just ask for help.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because again, it sounds so obvious, but so few people do it.
No, I mean, and there's people who have a certain mindset, and I'd probably be one of those who kind of feel you need to do everything yourself, and if you don't, that's a sign of weakness. The ability to ask for help is an immense sign of strength.
Yes,
in my opinion. Yeah.
Yeah. Look, Alan, thank you so much for taking the time out.
It was a pleasure.
Really enjoyed hearing from you, and some brilliant advice in there. Can't wait to share it with the community. So thanks so much.
Great, Scott. Thank you. All the best.